the rehearsal, the line check, everything is perfect. We start the intro, and like all the samples and the computers like start twitching and like fucking up, and the whole show, the metronome that we have, just stopped, and like you had to find yourself, but it restarted like a few seconds later, but at the point it stopped, so you had to like slow down your playing and like come back up. It was like just a nightmare.
Yeah, the click stopped in our ear monitors, but just went to the PA, and everyone heard the click on the PA.
Welcome to the 126th episode of the Cast That Ends Creation. I'm your host, Chris Deering. This is the show where I interview bands and public figures from the mathcore adjacent communities. My guest today dropped their new album, Almighty Men, Drifting Through a Prosthetic Sea, back in January. Through a prosthetic era back in January. Welcome in the Dali Thundering Concept. How's it going, guys?
Yeah, good. Hi. Really happy to be with you guys.
Dude, I'm really glad that y'all decided to come. I gotta admit that this isn't the full band. Obviously, we're missing two other members. But why don't you tell us who you are and what you do in the band?
Okay, well, I'm Sylvain, and I'm the vocalist, and I do like the concept creation, lyrics, and parts of the video realization, and Steve.
And Steve, I play the bass, and I am also in charge of all this business and administrative and project management stuff that the musicians usually do not like to do.
Yeah, we don't.
So you guys just passed 11 years of activity, is that correct?
Yeah, in September, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy it's been able to go this long. How did the band come together?
The guitar player Leo is my best friend. We grew up in the south of France, and when we came to Paris for studies and work and blah blah blah, we decided to reboot our musical projects and like find people that would allow us to go anywhere and like just free creativity. And so we started looking in Paris for new members, and the lineup changed a little bit in the first 2 years. But I think Steve is with us since 2016 now, and Martin, the drummer, is with us since 2014, I think. So it's been quite a long time. We have a stable lineup, and we've been able to do just crazy stuff and crazy shit. So that's cool.
Right, that's awesome that it's been able to stay together as long as it has. Steve, how did you find out about the band? How did you get involved?
Actually, I first joined in 2012 or 13 maybe. Firstly, around all these shitty works we mentioned before. And I started to play the bass in 2016, yes. When Antoine, we used to say Antoine. when Antoine left the band, so I started to play the bass at this time.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah, but and before that, we knew Steve because he was playing in a band called the Nations Breakdown, and we used to play a lot with his band, and so we got really friendly, and then he moved to Paris, so things got crazy at that time.
Okay, so you guys have known each other for a very long time then.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a question that I'm sure y'all have been asked 1,000 times, but I gotta know, where did the name come from? The Dali Thundering Concept is such a weird name. Where did that come from?
We back in 2010, when we created the band, the metal bands, and especially like tech proggy bands, always have really, really fucking long names, so we found that cool. And we were looking for a name with Leo. First of all, we're really big fans of Dali from day one. With Leo, we've always been it's crazy what he does. And but the other thing is that we wanted it to be memorable, because when you have long names, people call you by initials, and it's sometimes hard to remember. And DTC in French, it means in your ass, and it's like a gimmick that people do, like when you're, where are my keys? Yeah, they're in your ass. And we thought like, okay, if it's a joke, people will remember it, and yeah, fuck it, let's do that.
Well, so but this is such like a weird combination of names. So what does the Dali mean exactly?
It's Salvador Dali. It's a painter.
Oh, okay. And then like it's just so weird. Like so thundering. Where does that come from then?
Yeah, we had to have like GTC.
Okay. So you were looking for
so
anything that could fit that.
The thundering Dali's thundering concept, basically.
And when the band became a bit more professional, we talked again about this, saying, "Oh, DDC is clearly a joke in French, so let's find something more professional or something." And so we started to say TDDC, which means in English too drunk to care. So it's still a joke. But
yeah, we found that out later.
Okay. Well, dude, it's an awesome name. I really like it. It sticks out a lot. I've just ever since I saw it, I was like, what the hell does that even mean? So I had to know like how it came together. So across your career, you've dropped 2 albums and an EP. You've made a huge name for yourselves. Like it's crazy how big y'all have gotten like on your own. But now you're back with your 3rd album, Almighty Men, drifting through a prosthetic era. So what's different this time around?
Well,
go on, Sylvain.
Okay. Well, when we were starting with the band, we used to just like aim for bigger each step, like in the let's say the common way to go for bands. Like you drop an EP, it works a little bit, so you go touring, and then you do like an album, you do a European tour for European bands, etc., etc. And with Savages, we kind of felt like we hit a glass ceiling, and we were like, okay, what do we do now? How can we get like evolve, do more, and like be bigger, but we don't have more time to invest, etc., etc. So we just started to say, okay, we like doing really creative and conceptual stuff. Let's go like full that stuff, and just like started playing with concept ideas, and ended up doing the Barry the Straw thing, and like doing a whole movie and a video game, and that was fun. That was really, I think that's the really different part, is that we just don't care about all the rest anymore, and we're just doing like, the more creative it is, the more fun we have doing it, and that's the only goals.
So you feel like the big change this time around is just like innovating your image, not necessarily like there's not like a huge shift in the music then?
Yeah, obviously it touches everything. It's like we're not, before we were thinking to like make the band evolve and get bigger and bigger, and now we're just like doing any weird shit that makes us that moves us. So it touches the music, it touches the videos, the concept, the lyrics, everything. And we're just like, I feel like we freed ourselves from some pressure we had before. I'm not sure if you're okay with that, Steve.
Yeah, sure. And one of the main differences, I think, between this album and the previous one is that for Savages, the band has always been into society's topics and stuff like that. And for Savages, we completely dived into environmental subjects, and we clearly dived into it, and it just changed our life, respectively, our respective lives for each member of the band. And after this, we just wanted to keep on talking about this subject, about our Earth, environment, and blah blah blah, and all the problems around. And we find this way to say, let's do not make just a second album like this one. We just have to find another point of view to do it. So we still talk about roughly the same subjects, but this time it's from the eyes of a plastic character, which is Barry the Straw. So it was very interesting to write it and to think about another point of view without a human point of view, but yeah, a completely random character angle.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to the concept and such. I just want to point out Alice's Moonlight in chat says, been waiting for this for years. Well, we're here. Go ahead and ask questions so we can totally interact with these guys. So, what genre do you consider yourselves?
Yeah, that's a hard question.
Dude, we ask the hard questions around here. Come on.
Yeah, I think now we just say metal. Metal is enough.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
There's proggy touches, deathcore, metalcore, hardcore, whatever you want. So we used to say metal.
And I would say like progressive metal, I guess. But I see people probably calling you gent, and to me that just doesn't do you justice. You have a huge electronic influence, even breaking into straight up EDM moments on this album, which is fucking crazy. Like on the C Starts Here, that's such a good moment where it just breaks into like the dance stuff. And that's my favorite song actually, because you do stuff like that. You also have sections where it's almost like you're rapping. You have classical sections. There's some jazz stuff going on. There's a lot going on in here. It's super dense. So I guess it'd be like progressive metal or something like that, but even that doesn't seem like it incorporates everything that y'all are doing. Where do you get influences from for this?
From a lot of places. I think like really the instrumental part, which is mostly composed by the guitar player Leo. On this album, he based it a lot on movie music. So obviously we take from our more classical influences like Meshuggah and bands like that. But on this one, we really composed the album thinking it like a movie. So
very epic and expansive. I feel it too. You take advantage of like the space and like and sound really well.
Yeah, even in the transitions in the structure. Just to give you an idea, we actually wrote a scenario of all the album, like moment, riff by riff. Okay, what's happening here in the story? What's happening around the character? Blah blah blah. Before Leo could start composing, so he had like every moment he could like set the right mood. So yeah,
that's awesome.
It was a lot of work, but it was a different perspective even for composition on this one.
That's fucking sick. Yeah, I feel like you guys perfectly blended a bunch of styles that on their face shouldn't go together, but you made them go together, and it really inspires me. Like in terms of like, it makes me want to get to like writing more music and stuff. I think this is amazing. It definitely sets a high bar for album of the year. Like this is really good stuff.
Yeah, thanks, man.
How does the writing process work with you guys? I guess it's mainly your guitarist kind of putting stuff together.
Vas-y.
As Sylvain said before, this time we started with the story and the scenario without having anything composed at this moment. And after this, Leo composed a bunch of things with this guideline in mind. And maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I don't remember, we just rented a house in France for 2 or 3 weeks and just stayed all together during these 2 or 3 weeks, and everyone had a desk and a studio and everything, so everyone was working on his side, and we had checkpoints during the day gathering all the ideas and everything. So that came like this. It was more like a teamwork as compared as what we did before.
So y'all wrote everything in 2 or 3 weeks?
Leo took on the lyrics writing. I took a little bit of advance. Like I was working for a couple of months before. Leo started a little bit before, just get the first song in structure, so Steve and Martin could like make their magic happen. And and then we just that was originally the goal, was to like write an album in 3 weeks and just record it and drop it. But then COVID came, so that didn't happen.
So you guys started this like in 2019 then? Started writing this in 2019 then, or? Yeah,
the scenario was started like, I think it was October or November 2019. I was in Ireland, so I think that was that was pretty much it.
What's it like having to sit on this thing for over 2 years?
It's usual. Like starting to get used to it. I think Savages took us like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
God damn. Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah, we do
man.
a lot of research before. Yeah, we like to complicate stuff for ourselves. So I guess that happens, but it's a lot of fun. It's kind of tiring, but it's a lot of.
And this time, after Savages, yeah, it took 3 or 4 years of hard work. And this time we said, let's do not do the same mistake. Let's do not the same mistake as for Savages, and let's make something softer, and just to keep a normal life. And as usual in Dali, we have just a small ID, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And yeah, here we are again.
And now you have it to where you're like doing videos for every song and such, and like, it's just like
every time it's like every 2 weeks, some guy is saying like, "Oh guys, I had an idea," and it's like, and you know you're going to die, but it's like, oh fuck, that's so exciting. Let's do it.
We used to have fun about what we do. We used to say that's clearly the worst thing you can do in your life, and especially in music. That's really complicated to play. All the gear and everything are very expensive. There's no girls at your gigs. There's no money at all. There's nothing interesting. But we are still here, so we don't really know why.
So y'all were saying this is a concept album about Barry the Straw. Tell us a bit about Barry and the story behind him.
Yeah, well, after like Steve was saying earlier, after Savages, which is like a pretty dark point of view on the evolution of our society from today to probably a collapse and stuff like that. We wanted to take a different point of view, so it's basically we created this plastic straw character, kind of a cartoony character, which just like is born in the factory and just sees the human world and discovers everything with its illusions, its promises. And so there's a lot of different characters on the way. So basically it's the odyssey of this straw from the factory to the ocean.
So I just want to be clear real quick, and this just hit me. Like, I was gonna ask you what you mean by a straw, but you mean literally a straw, like what you would drink liquids with. Okay, this just hit me, and now I'm thinking, oh, dude, the makeup lines up so well. Like, that's totally what that is. Okay, that's crazy. I thought that like straw, I don't know, meant something else, like in France or whatever. And I'm like, okay, you guys ask them about it, but that's wild. That's such a weird story. How did you land on a straw?
We were thinking about different, like we wanted to be a piece of trash, and plastic, obviously, to like speak about like waste management and pollution, etc. And even if the plastic straw is now forbidden in most Western countries, and it's not the biggest problem in the world, it's still like a very big symbol in the people's minds. So yeah, we thought like, and even it's easier to like make human than a plastic bag or other shit. So we thought about that, and then to write the story, we have a fifth member of the band that is Nicolas, which is managing way too much things behind the scenes, especially like communication tactics. He's helping with the videos and doing like huge amount of shit. So yeah, big up to him. And he actually did like a thesis on the monomyths from Campbell. It's like the hero with the thousand faces. The fact that all good stories, more or less, have the same structure. So we based all the story on this scheme that is the same for Lord of the Rings, Greek mythology. Everything is based on that.
And he included all the Walt Disney stories and even very famous stories.
While we're talking about this, I'm just going to go ahead and start playing the videos we got here, starting with the Lost in Transaction one. I feel like this one and the C Starts Here is the best ones that y'all have done. You're the guy that does all the dancing is just like super amazing.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about these two videos?
Vas-y, Steve.
We wanted the first video clips we released was more like a cartoon. As for the initial idea, we decided to draw this straw, and for the following ones, we find this idea about finding a way to represent Barry the straw with another way, not just a plastic object, but we said, okay, if we had a dancer all painted as a straw, it could be a good symbol to represent this story, but in a more intelligent way and a more artistic way. So that's what we did for the Lost in Transaction video clip and the Sea Star series as well.
The crazy thing was that in the beginning, I remember when we had the idea for Lost in Transaction. I was recording with Martin, and we were just on a break and like riffing ideas, and we were like, okay, we have to find easy ideas to make. Why don't we just like put because the story in this song is like Barry and an almighty man that are like turning around each other before he buys the straw. And we're like, okay, you put man on a throne and have like Barry lap dance on him, and that would be so fun and blah blah blah. And we actually did it, but we were not supposed to do dance things in other videos, but just like Quentin, and check him on social media. He's Quentin Ferrari, Quentin Ferrari with an English accent, and he just like mind blew us, and we're like, okay, fuck, we need to like change all we have written for the next videos. He needs to stay Barry the Straw. We cannot have another one.
Yeah, dude,
it was really fucking great.
It's so good. It's insanely good. So now that I understand that's an actual straw, this video's kind of like odd to me. Like, why is your arm painted like a straw?
Well,
what's like
the thing is like, Matteo and me are in the video where we're playing the role of Almighty Men. And if you look on the artwork, you have like the head with one arm that is quite skinny and white with no red things, and the other that is more muscular and with the red lines. So basically, this is the concept of the prosthetic. Sorry, which is
Okay.
that human doesn't have claws or stuff. So we have like tools that act as a prosthetic device, and like even the straw is kind of a prosthetic device. So basically, we use energy to like create tools and make them work. And yeah, that's basically the concept behind the whole album. Maybe Steve could explain it with better words than I. He's the one that came kind of with that theory.
Yeah, that's it. That's a concept we took from a French thinker called Jean-Marc Jancovici. He's a scientist and a very influencing guy in environmental subjects and everything in France. And he uses to give a lot of conferences about this and say, yeah, all what we use, the machines, the energy and everything are just a prosthesis of human being. We are using a computer and internet now. It's like a prosthesis to see further and everything, and just make things you could not be able to do with your proper body. So we found this idea so much interesting and decided to keep it for this album. And that's also what you can see on the main cover of the album. There's a head with two arms like this, and one is painted as Barry, and this one is the prosthesis of humanity.
I got the album art up on screen, and now I'm noticing the hand with like the painted like stripes and stuff. I didn't even notice that before. Okay, this is so cool. Like, y'all's concept is amazing. It is such a good concept. Holy crap. So let's just move on to the next video real quick, because now I have even more questions about the C starts here. There's like a demon or something. Let's fast forward a little bit to where it all really starts. But yeah, so he's being dragged along by this like demon character. What's going on with this story?
So at that point, so just in Lost in Transaction, man bought him, used him, and threw him away. So he in the Styx, which is the interlude with the cello, he's actually like drifting and falling into the sewers. And the sea starts here, happens in the sewers, and he meets like a rat, the king of the sewers, which is a rat, and they have like basically the thing is that the rat is like kind of a mix between Hades, Lucifer, and like the guy passing dead people from one world to the other. So he's basically trying to corrupt Barry against man, but also trying to set him free, and while still enabling him to move from the world of men to the world of wildlife. So it was kind of a tricky. It's kind of a tricky character. So basically, this video is just the corruption of Barry by the rat, just like breaking down all his faith.
That's crazy, dude. This is like the coolest concept I've ever heard for an album, honestly. Like, I know I've said that like a million times, but seriously, this is wild. I was not thinking this was what it was about. I fucking love that. That's so cool. So the artwork, the actual artwork is made by Auguste Lefou? Is that how you say the name?
Auguste Lefou. Yeah.
So not even close to what I just said, but the people that
made, but not that far.
So, like, how did you? Well, I guess you already told me kind of how you landed on this image specifically. Why is the face broken in half? Is there something cool?
Je me rappelle plus ça. I think there has to be a reason, but I'm not sure I remember. Yeah, I got it. Actually, we on each single we dropped, the head like opens and closes, and there's something in the middle. So basically, it's just enabled to show the content of the head. So we have like a 3D animation with the head like moving, and the opening with like the first song there's gears, the second song there's a plastic like a shopping bag full with groceries. The third is
what?
rats.
Yeah. How did I miss that?
Yeah. I think we use it on basically on Facebook,
on
Instagram mostly, and
on Spotify as well.
It will be on.
Oh my god, I see him now on Bandcamp.
On
Holy crap, that's crazy. Here, I wonder if I can get this. That's crazy.
Yeah, so even the artwork was kind of a challenge.
It's
like let's do a 3D model of the artwork so we can like turn around, and during shows we are going to like use that a lot.
That is so
video.
Cool, dude. Holy crap, man. Y'all are awesome. This is awesome, dude. Holy crap. That's so freaking. Yeah, but y'all did something for basically for every song outside of Styx, and right now you don't have anything after As the Sirens Call, but I'm assuming something's coming, right? For the other songs?
Yeah, obviously.
Okay,
Yeah, we're not finished.
And I love the video game that y'all did for As the Sirens Call. I actually played it. It's really freaking cool, man. Like I've seen bands before that are like, oh, we did a little video game or whatever, and it's like it's usually really shitty. But y'all's is actually really really cool. What's the highest score that y'all have been able to get on your own video game?
I think I went up to like 300,000, but I know some guys did 700,000 or something like that.
That's awesome, dude.
So yeah. Yeah, but it's the video game is like if the people want to check, it's a good friend of ours that also has a band called Kylian et l'autre. So yeah, maybe like I'll text you so you can share it, the link. And he during like the first lockdown, he decided to like learn how to do video games, and he did like music video games for himself. And we're like, oh, we have to do this but you have to do this for us too. And yeah, it's an amazing, really amazing band too.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna put a link to the. It's really really. So I got a random question that we ask
Yeah,
everybody here.
if people
Oh no,
if
you're
people
good.
want
You're
to
good.
play and like share, if people want to share their scores on the like social media and tag us in, there's currently a contest going with like the highest score. I don't know how much we decided, but we the highest scores will get a like free merch and stuff. So don't hesitate. Like just tag us, play the video game, and we'll send you some sweet packages.
Yeah, man. So I got a random question here that I ask everybody. What do you put on your hot dogs?
That's a good question. Unexpected. I like it. Yeah, I guess I put mustard like basic, like a basic bitch or something like that.
Mustard's good though, boy. Mustard's good. What
Yeah,
about
it's
you,
pretty
Steve?
cool.
What do you put on your hot dogs?
Can you say it again? Sorry.
What do you put on your hot dogs?
Mustard.
Okay,
Mustard.
okay. So
And,
you're both
and,
you're
and,
both
and
just plain mustard guys then.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and fried onions if
yeah,
possible.
fried
Okay,
onions. Yeah,
okay. You can get
that's
behind that,
cool.
dude. That sounds good. Good.
But
Um,
but only with veggie sausages.
what kind of veggies?
Without
I know,
ham.
like vegan, like
Yeah,
vegan.
yeah,
Oh, vegan hot
yeah,
dogs. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
That's it.
Yeah, actually, it's weird. A lot of people I talk to only are vegetarian, and they always talk about having the vegan hot dogs. It's more than I would imagine. So, I guess they're good. Are they good?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Depends on which one, but yeah, usually they go.
Are you all vegan in the band?
No.
And I think no one is 100%.
Oh, okay. Y'all are just
No.
like trying to like temper how much like meat
Yes,
y'all actually consume. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, especially like only we only buy really quality meat. Not that regularly where you go to the butchers, not in the supermarket. Like check the where it comes from, like just for instant
and
pleasures, from
and
time to time.
and
Okay.
that's one of the points and things that the band brought to each one of us. Since we completely felt into this environmental concept, we just took into consideration in our lives all these points, saying, okay, you don't have, especially to remove completely the meat of your life, but if everyone can reduce a lot, and when you see the numbers and everything, you understand that if you divide by 4 or 5 your meat consumption, that's okay. You don't have to be privated or everything. But yeah, that's an interesting thing that we had ourselves and that we try to communicate to people with this project.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Plus,
healthier for
I don't
you and
think
a little
like
bit better for the planet too, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, plus I don't think you really have to like go 100% in or just like quit the things all the things we have to do in these topics. Well, it's not that easy, and if you go all in, some guys manage that, but most people would just like quit really quickly. So maybe just do it like step by step, and like each step you go forward is a win. So like everybody has got a different rhythm, so it's kind of an emergency, but still you have to like do the best you can.
Right. So the album
Yeah.
was actually supposed to come out last year, but you ended up delaying it. What happened?
For because of the reason that everyone knows, because of COVID and everything, we had a bunch of issues with manufacturers, with a bunch of things, and all took more time than expected. So it's not a small project, and we didn't want to release it like this and say, okay, that's okay. We just wanted to make it properly, and even if we had to take the time, that was okay. So we decided to postpone the release, but it was just to make it good and 100% good.
Yeah. Plus, I guess it would be really disappointing for fans. Like the album drops, you've pre-ordered the album, and like it only comes like a month or 2 months later. So we wanted to play the safer method on that point.
Right. Everything seems to be kind of backed up right now.
Yeah, yeah. Like it's like everything is slower, and there's no stock on a lot of things. We had a lot of trouble with that, even on merch, like having like a T-shirt get print in I think the record we set this time was like 4 months or 5 months to order a T-shirt. So yeah.
So you guys are totally independent, but you're getting over about 10K streams a day on Spotify. Like about average, it's a little over 10K streams a day, which is absolutely crazy for somebody that's independent. Like seriously, that's insane. That's like good for like an album release for most bands, but you're sustaining this at least for like a couple, the second week after release. How are you able to do this without getting like backing from a label or whatever? Like what's your strategy to get this large?
Initially, the first time we discussed about having a label and everything, the band was quite small, so obviously you just get shitty propositions and everything. So we just say, okay, for now, just do not think anything, and let's do the thing by yourselves. And we did it, so we learned a lot about how the music industry works and everything. And time flies, and after this, naturally we got more interesting proposition and everything. But it was still more interesting for us to be independent and included for the money, but also regarding artistical freedom and everything. So we are not completely close to the idea about working with a label or about working with a bigger entity and everything. But for now, we've just not had the opportunity to do it well.
Okay. Y'all have like a bunch of factors working against you though. Like one of the big things is that y'all are from France, and like bands from France don't really get a lot of play here in like America and such. And like y'all are playing such a weird style of music, but you're still able to reach like a whole bunch of different people. So how are you able to amass this audience?
Well, I think all along the years we've been playing and like offering ideas and concepts. We maybe we're in a niche. Maybe we're like doing a very peculiar music, but along the years, people just like stopped on us, and we have a really cool and really linked. Like I don't know how to say it in English, but like really together
audience.
Community. Yeah, committed, but like it's kind of a family. Even you can see it on the Patreon community. We have like a chat with the guys that are on Patreon with us, and it's like just having fun, saying stupid shit. And next week we're doing a big party in Paris with all our friends and our fans, and from the zone. But yeah, so I think we all also have this, that we are trying at least to give something more than just a random like combination of songs, and that actually like checks for some people a box, and then they just dive with us into the project. So I think that's basically one of the answers we could give.
Well, since you mentioned the Patreon, tell me a little bit about it. A lot of bands some bands are starting up like Patreons and such. But what do you offer with yours?
There's a lot of stuff. There's mainly like behind the scene videos. We also do videos to explain the concept for each song, the composition, how it was composed for each song, guitar breakdowns for riffs that the community chooses. Like when we get a single, they choose the riff that they want Leo to break down. There's the tabs, there's the producer packs, there's like merch. I don't remember. Am I forgetting something?
Yeah, early access is for everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's it.
but it's obviously going to evolve. We're already thinking of how we're going to like keep it going after now the album is released, and we still have things to release. So for now we're okay. But once that's over and we're starting to work on the next project, which is still a big question mark, we'll have to like think things differently to include people and like get even closer and get people invested in the creation, in the concept and stuff. That would be a really cool experience.
Do you have any advice for fans that are trying to be independent but get to where you guys are with like a huge audience? What was the thing that made you guys blow up?
I think it's hard work. I mean, we've all always been like really focused on what we wanted, really happy to like we're happy to be together, we're happy to work together. We have meetings every week, even when we're not releasing an album. And we just like everyone has his tasks. Like Steve is more project management, booking and stuff. Leo is going to be on like production and composition. Martin's going to be on production. I'm going to do like lyrics, communication with Steve too. And so everyone has his work, his job, and like you do it. And basically, if you work hard, it works, I guess.
So that's also what I would say with my project manager cap, which is that I think the most important thing in a musical project in particular is to find a structure or something where everyone feels comfortable with his position and especially with his vision of where we are going to. And because most of the time when a band splits, it's just because one or two members or four members just don't have the same vision of their future anymore. And I think that the most important thing to fix where we go and what we can expect from this project is that money, is that recognition, is that I don't know. So that's also what we've done with Dali. We have weekly meetings and we talk about it every week, and just we make sure that everyone is comfortable with that. And even if we probably won't never play in front of thousands and thousands of people, that's not the most important thing for us. We have our own objectives and we are fully happy with them. That's probably the most important thing to have pleasure to work on this kind of project, even if there's no girls, no money, or everything.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, y'all are super organized. Like, it's pretty obvious. But like, what? How did y'all get like as big exposure? Like bands, you could be as organized as you want to be. You could have like this huge thing behind you, but you still need to get out there and get like views and such. And how did y'all achieve that? Being a band from France, which again like doesn't get play here in the U.S. like necessarily. Like you seem like a band that shouldn't have gotten like as big as you did, but somehow you nailed it and you got it right. So like, what was the thing that got y'all so big?
I think we just went there step by step. I'm not sure there's a precise answer to that. It's like we've always had like more than 50% of the fan base being American, so it just happened.
See, I had Frontier on here not too long ago, and they had kind of a similar answer too. They're absolutely gigantic right now, and they're like independent like you guys, and they couldn't give me a straight answer as well. So I I'm not gonna push it too hard, but
I mean, like apart from like loving what you do, being organized, and just having fun in the project, and not just saying like, okay, we need to do it quick. Let's do what people are waiting. If you're passionate about something and like you give it your everything, well, in the beginning, it's like it's going to be small, so you can get discouraged and quit. But if you like hold the long term and like go deeper in every album, we try to like give something more than on the previous, make it bigger some in some way, or like go further on this and this. And I think like the people really like that about the project. Every time we try to surprise them, so it's never going to be like, yeah, Dali's been like the same for 3 albums or 2 albums. I think that will happen when we're already split it up. We're never going to do that.
So y'all were talking about like things that are going to be happening in the future. Part of that would be shows. Y'all have like plans to play shows and stuff?
Yeah. We are preparing shows and even tours, but nothing has been announced yet. So it will be in the next weeks. We have this and a few more conceptual projects. For example, we were talking about videos earlier, and we have still the last part of the album which has not video yet. And the last video will be released in Paris in early April, and for this we just booked a cinema just to watch the whole Almighty Man film, and it will be coupled with a conference and a discussion with a French guy called Etienne Klein, who is a thinker and a scientist again. And yeah, we just want now in the future to focus on innovative project like this, and still of course have the shows and everything as a standard music band. But yeah, what we feel excited about is innovating and propose, as Sylvain said, propose something different and something we've never seen before.
Do you have any
but
plans
we're
to...
definitely excited to play bands still. It's been 2 fucking years, so
right.
We're kind of scared, but
definitely.
still excited.
Do y'all have plans to come to the U.S., even if you can't announce them?
Yeah. We signed with an American booker, but it was just before COVID, so nothing happened. But we started to discuss with them again, and we are there's no concrete plans for now, but we are thinking about it yet. That would be the first time for all of us. So,
hell yeah, man! Oh, I'd love to see you guys. Wheeler Dealer in chat says, just now finding the Dali Thundering concept, and I'm super impressed. Gonna have to go through their catalog. You absolutely are. It is an amazing band. Speaking about shows, what has been your best show that you've played so far?
I think for me it would be the last Euroblast that we did. It was not like the first tour after Savages. It was like a couple of tours after that, and it was like such an explosion. It was really freeing, and we were kind of early on the main stage, but the place was like packed and everyone was going insane. It was really a lot of fun.
I feel like that's about when y'all started blowing up too, is like a little bit after Savages came out.
Yeah.
And I would say the same. And just because you have a couple of festivals in Europe which are very familiar.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we played Euroblast. We played Euroblast maybe twice or 3 times, I think. And each time we go there, we party so hard, and we have crazy gigs and everything. So yeah, I would say exactly the same as Sylvain. Euroblast Festival.
What about your worst show?
I think it was like just a couple of weeks before that one.
We're thinking about the same, I think.
Yeah, this is sure we're thinking about the same. We did a tour in England, and the whole tour was happening nicely. Not that many people, because it was a tour with only UK TechFest playing bands all around TechFest, which is a festival in England. And at the moment, we were all like looking to TechFest like, this is home. We're going to have so much fun. It's going to be great. And we arrived, and just like the rehearsal, the line check, everything is perfect. We start the intro, and like all the samples and the computers like start twitching and like fucking up. And the whole show, the metronome that we have just stopped. And like you had to find yourself, but it restarted like a few seconds later. But at the point it stopped, so you had to like slow down your playing and like come back up. It was like just a nightmare.
Yeah, the click stopped in our ear monitors, but just went to the PA, and everyone heard the click on the PA in the crowd.
So yeah,
and the computer completely crashed, and we just didn't manage to reboot it properly, so we just had to unplug everything. Yeah, it was a terrible experience.
That was UK Tech Fest where that happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there's probably like a bunch of people there too that were watching this, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it was not our first Tech Fest. We already played there like twice before that gig. But yeah, I'm looking forward to play back in TechFest just to like take my revenge or something. But that gig, man. Plus, we didn't even party because we had a gig in France like the next day, but not far. Yeah, the next day. So we had to like, we finished the show. We were depressed, and we entered the car in like silence and no one speaking. Like, oh fuck. And we drove all the way back to France. We slept at Steve's place in Paris and went to the gig. And the other gig was like a nightmare too. Like not because of the gear, or a little bit because of the gear, but less. But like no people. The organization was like shitty as fuck. I think he paid us 3 years later or something. Yeah. So it was like complete nightmare. Yeah, that tour sucked.
That sucks, man. Steve, I'm assuming you got that's the same show for you. That one's the worst one, or did you have something better?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Crazy. So as far as merch goes, you guys have shirts and CDs available. Why no vinyl? Or am I just missing the place where I would buy it?
It will come later. Come later. Yeah. We've worked so hard during this last month. We still have this vinyl idea in mind, but we just clearly didn't have the time to work on it. But
so is it in production now then, or is it like, and you're like waiting to get it in hand before you put it up, or has it like not even started?
It's not in production yet, because we are just starting to work on the design of this thing. We do not want to make just a proper copy of the album. We want to have a sophisticated design and
added value.
More, yeah, exactly. And so for this, we are just taking the time to work on it, and we'll probably ask to the Patreon community to help us to choose and to get their opinion or everything. So it will take a few moments, but it's planned for this year.
Okay. Alice's Moonlight is saying, yo, what's it like having Salem and Leprous and Rio especially lend their talents to your songs? This is something I should have touched on, but I totally forgot to ask about it. Yeah, so tell me about the guests that are involved in your album.
Yeah, well, as all the albums we had, we always take a lot of guests, because like there's guests with friends we're really happy to like collaborate with, and then there's like a few guests we're just like fanboys, and like Rio, definitely that scenario is like, Rio. It was amazing. But yeah, this one was different on the only point that every feat we do has a character designed for him. So it's like designed in the story to have another voice come and speak. So basically, Matteo is impersonating the man, Almighty Man. Rio is doing the Rat King of the sewers, and after you've got Aaron from 1056 and Clément. Clément, merci. And Clément from Ashen that did an amazing work. And then they are both sides of the Churchill that you meet in the end of the album. That is like the wild side and the inner voice of the turtle.
That's awesome. I gotta say again, man, the concept is awesome. Y'all really hit it out of the park with that. That's so good. So let's wrap this up with your album of the year for last year.
Vas-y, Steve. I'll have to think about it. I was not ready for that one.
Just think about it. I just have to take a few seconds to pee, and I will be back.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm sorry, I just drink a lot of beer, so I just need to pee.
Well, I'll have to find mine now. I'd say 1056. 1056 album. Like it's maybe an EP, but that hit really hard. And what was released? I heard the last fit for an autopsy. That was insane. I'm not sure when they released it, but that was crazy too.
I've never actually heard of 1056, and I kind of missed out on the Fit for an Autopsy album. Well,
1056, you have to check them there. It's like there's guys from Kadinja, there's guys from Uneven Structures and novelists, and the singer, the singer from Betraying the Martyrs. Like they made a very, very violent band together, and it's really very, very good.
Woodwo WODWO in chat is saying, any chance of a double album concept for next time?
Yeah, so we already put 3 years for one album, so we'll
right,
see about that. Yeah.
Like 6 years from now, we might actually get it.
Yeah, or maybe we can like think of like concepts like in different episodes, but like EP or album by album that like follow each other. But yeah, we have no idea what we're doing. We're actually meeting next week to like start thinking about what we're going to do next. So we'll see. Maybe.
So
Steve, you got that album of the year?
My album of the year.
Huh?
Say it again. Sorry.
What's
my
your album of the year for last year?
Vola was good too.
Yeah. I think Vola is one of the best one of this year, and I will give a big up to our friends of 1056. Which are a very recent band. They are just dropped their first EP a few months ago, I think, last October, and it was absolutely mind blowing for a first EP. Everything is becoming so big for them. So big up to them.
That's what Sylvain just
really
said
happy.
too. So I guess I gotta check this out now that both of you guys are saying it's so good. But yeah, if people are looking for some refreshing experimental progressive metal, check out Almighty Men, Drifting Through a Prosthetic Era. The newest album from the Dali Thundering Concept was dropped back in January. Where can people find you guys?
Everywhere.
We're
all around you.
Look up the name, right? You guys are up on all the streaming sites and Facebook. Yeah. I believe you had Twitter and Instagram up as well.
A bit less on Twitter. We are not so active on Twitter, but on all the other social medias we're here.
I was actually really surprised that y'all had a Twitter. Most bands in like Europe and UK and stuff, they don't have Twitter at all. So I thought that was really interesting. Whenever I ask bands from Europe about like if they have a Twitter, they tell me, "Oh no, only politicians use Twitter." So I was really surprised that you guys.
Yeah, we actually tried, and it's so much work. It's like insane. I don't think Europe has the right like the Twitter culture where. More Facebook and Instagram and like starting to get TikTok, but yeah.
Are y'all gonna start up a TikTok anytime soon?
We already have one.
Oh, you do? Do y'all do like the challenges and stuff, or are y'all just posting like music videos and stuff?
Yeah, no, we have no time for challenges, man.
Okay.
The band is already a so big challenge, so we don't need more challenges.
Yeah.
As for me, find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. YouTube folks, if you enjoyed the video, please drop a like, click on the notification bell. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support me for free. You can also drop my channel a follow so you always know when I go live. You can sub to get access to the interviews before they hit YouTube and streaming services, as well as get some exclusive emotes. Check out my music, The Sound Creation, at thesoundinspiration.bandcamp.com. My new album, Boomers, Zoomers, Desperate Coomers, is out now. My next guest is Heavy Meta. Join us this Sunday, the 13th at 7 p.m. Central for the live cast. Thanks for being here, guys. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thanks for having us.
Thank you, mate.
Oh yeah, thank you for coming on, and thank you guys.
You spoke so fast on that last sentence. Like,
I need to slow down a little bit. Sometimes I've had some people make fun of me.
It was like rap god stuff, like.
Thanks for being here, guys, and thank you guys for watching and listening.